Now listen here. Folks keep asking, why people scared about going backward when AI gonna be doing all the work anyway? See, slavery and Jim Crow was about power, about who got to own things, and who got owned by things. The plantation owner made money, the banks made money, the railroads made money, the insurance companies made money, and the politicians made sure the whole thing stayed legal. Now fast forward to today, and here's the real question. Who gonna own all this technology? Because history says the folks who own the machines usually end up owning the money too. See, people ain't really saying they think chains and auction blocks coming back exactly the same. What folks are worried about is becoming a permanent bottom class again. That's the fear. If AI takes jobs, but housing gets higher, schools get weaker, healthcare gets higher, wages stay low, and regular folks can't build wealth, then what happens? You end up with a small group owning the technology, owning the data, owning the land, owning the companies, while everybody else fighting over crumbs like seagulls at the beach. Anytime folks come into your neck of the woods suddenly telling black people what's best for the black community, baby, you better side-eye 'em a little. Because that ain't new. During Jim Crow, plenty people sat in offices, courtrooms, school boards, and state houses deciding what black folks deserved without asking black folks a thing. They said segregated schools was best, said certain books wasn't appropriate, said voting restrictions was for order, said underfunded neighborhoods was just the way things are. Now they want to head conversations on reparations, mention DEI as if it were only for black folks and forget to mention that white women benefited from it more than anyone. They always wrapped control up in pretty words. That's why elders get nervous when conversations start happening about us, but never let us lead it. Now that don't mean everybody outside the community got bad intentions. Don't y'all leave here acting suspicious of every smiling face in Walmart. But it does mean you better pay attention to who has the microphone, who owns the platform, who controls the money, and whether the people affected actually got a seat at the table. Because history teaches you real quick. If somebody always speaking for you but never listening to you, they usually ain't planning to empower you. And don't let nobody fool you into thinking technology automatically means progress. Baby, America had technology during slavery too. The cotton gin made slavery more profitable, not less. Factories made rich people richer, while poor folks worked 14 hours and came home looking like they fought a bear. Technology don't create justice by itself. People do. That's why folks compare some things today to Jim Crow or slavery, not because they think we literally going back to horsewhips and overseers riding around, though Lord knows some people act like they miss the job description. No, the fear is about control, about rights being weakened, about certain communities always being last hired, first fired, undereducated, overpoliced, underpaid, and then blamed for struggling. And one thing this old lady done learned, anytime people start telling you education don't matter, history don't matter, books need banning, workers don't deserve protections, and only rich folks deserve tax breaks, you better keep one eye open and your shoes tied tight. Because inequality don't always come wearing a white hood. Sometimes it come wearing a business suit holding a smartphone. Now I ain't telling y'all to live scared. No ma'am, but I am telling you to pay attention. Learn technology, teach your children, own something, read history, support each other, and stop letting people divide poor folks while wealthy folks laugh all the way to the bank. Like my mama used to say, if somebody keeps moving the ladder every time you climb, eventually you realize the game ain't about climbing. It's about who gets to hold the ladder. And baby, that's the conversation people really having.